Day 2 of installing a pollinator garden. Today is the big day. Just putting the finishing touches on everything right now, and pretty soon we're going to be putting in the new native pollinator plants. This butterfly was tangled in the brambles yesterday, and we carefully extracted it. I wasn't sure if it was going to make it overnight, but it's doing really well. We got our plans for our pollinator garden. This is going to be the street bed. On the edge is where it gets the most sun. We're going to line that with some catmint and butterfly milkweed. We have a few other plants going in there. We'll show you as we go along. This is the street view of the bed. The sunniest portion is going to have the most flowers. A ton of native pollinator plants are going to be going in there, and it's really shady in the back, so that's going to be filled with pachysandra, ajuga, coral bells, and some other shade plants. We're just starting to stage up all the plants where they're going to be going. There'll be some mild tweaks as we get a feel for the bed, and sometimes virtually it's a little bit different. But right now we're starting to set the all the catmints out, and our bee bombs are all set up. This is butterfly milkweed. In the summertime they get a beautiful orange-ish yellow flower on them. These are also a native plant, and they are a perfect pollinator plant. Butterflies, bees, and hummingbirds like these. So they will get a seed pod on them like a traditional milkweed.
Now here's a question. Will these get as large and tall as traditional milkweed, like the ones we see over here?
No, these are a different variety of milkweed, and they will stay low and bushy, and they will get covered in the orange flowers for most of the summer into the fall.
They kind of look like a fern.
These were in a greenhouse, so they're actually going to be blooming a little bit later. So they should give a really good fall show.
And what are these?
These are a native plant allium. They bloom all summer long, and they get a pink pom-pom flower on it. The bees and the butterflies absolutely adore these. But if you smell it, it smells exactly like onions. Onions are in the allium family.
Interesting.
It's a decorative onion, so to speak. Okay. This is catmint. It is in the catnip family. It's a cross between mint and catnip. In the spring and summer, it gets a beautiful blue flower on it. It is a spreading plant and will fill out this entire area right here. It's a really good pollinator plant. Bees and bumblebees especially, native bumblebees, love this plant. Catmint is incredibly fragrant. It smells like catnip. It has the same effect on cats as catnip does. This plant is bee balm. It's another incredibly fragrant plant. Bee balm is also known as sweet melissa or bergamot. If you're not sure of what bergamot is, you're probably very familiar with it. It is what they make Earl Grey tea out of. So, here, smell this. It smells like Earl Grey tea. Flowers are finishing up on it. It mainly blooms in the summertime, but they get these tufty pom-pom pink flowers on them typically. This bee balm is a lower growing one, so it's going to be more bushy. There are different varieties. The ones with the red flowers typically get really tall. We're trying to keep this a little bit more manicured and lower, so we chose the low growing bee balm. So it's very fragrant, will attract many types of bees, bumblebees, honeybees. The butterflies and hummingbirds enjoy them very much. Ajuga, get a look at that flower. Look how vibrant that is. Ajuga is a pollinator plant, but it's really good for shade. And since the whole entire interior of this bed is going to be shady, we're going to be filling with ajuga as well as pachysandra. The ajuga is going to spread very rapidly and fill the space. This is heliobor, also known as Lenten rose or winter rose. It has a really cool flower, and we're going to be naturalizing it around the trees. Typically they start to bloom in about February. So you can often see this flowering when there's still snow on the ground. So it's a very cool plant for winter interest. Even when the flowers are done, they'll hold on to it for a very long time. And when the flowers are finished, it has a really cool leaf as well. So this is a really cool addition to the garden.
So it appears there was an issue with the naming. Can you please tell us what this actually is?
I'm sorry, I always call it heliobor. It's hellebore. Please forgive me. Winterberry hollies. They are a native plant, and they are also a pollinator plant. In the fall into the winter time, they get these beautiful red berries on them, which are a great food source for the birds. Because they are a holly, you need female and male species. This is a female species, but we also have planted a male species. This way that they can pollinate each other and get the berries. They're a great pollinator plant for the bees in the spring. We are just putting the finishing touches on this bed. We have planted 550 individual Pachysandra plants in the shady portion. Stay tuned as we plant the remaining bed and the grand reveal after everything is mulched.